Have you ever felt anxiety poisoning you from the inside? That knot in your stomach that won't go away, racing thoughts that steal your sleep, the feeling that you're always on the verge of collapsing? There is a solution, and it's not in miracle pills or escapist fantasies. It lies in a 2,000-year-old philosophy that taught both emperors and slaves how to master their minds. Today, you're going to discover 10 Stoic weapons to crush anxiety and sadness. These are time-tested strategies used by warriors like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus to turn chaos into strength. But be warned, this isn't shallow self-help. These are radical principles that demand courage, because they'll force you to face your inner demons head-on. Imagine waking up without fear of the future, feeling sadness without being consumed by it, knowing with cold, calm clarity that nothing, not people or circumstances, can shake your inner balance. That power is within your reach. The price for achieving that unshakable peace? Watch until the end and apply what you learn. If you're tired of being a prisoner of your own emotions, this video will change your life, but it only works for those brave enough to face what's coming and put it into action. Don't get anxious just yet. The first principle is the most devastating weapon against anxiety, and 95% of people ignore it out of fear. Will you be different? If you're ready to learn and use it to your advantage, right? Yes, I'm going to change starting now. But that's not all. Principles 8 and 10 are the most powerful for those who want to become emotionally bulletproof for good. Especially Principle 10, which reveals one of the most disturbing secrets about the human mind, and could completely redefine the way you see your fears and worries. Ready to find out? Then hit subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell and stay until the end. Tomorrow might be too late to reclaim your peace. Principle 1. Accept what you cannot change. Have you ever found yourself obsessing over something that happened at work? Like a sharp comment from your boss or a mistake you can't undo? This habit of fighting the past is like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips through, and all you're left with is frustration. The Stoics, like Epictetus, teach us there's a clear line between what we control and what we don't. The weather, other people's opinions, even that chaotic morning traffic. None of it is in our hands. The secret is to focus only on what depends on you. Your reaction, your thoughts, your next move. Imagine a mother losing sleep because her teenage son won't listen to her. She yells, cries, but nothing changes. Only her exhaustion grows. Now imagine her taking a deep breath and saying, I can guide him, but I can't control his choices. That's Stoicism in action. Accepting the uncontrollable lifts a huge weight off your shoulders. It's not surrender, it's strategy. A conscious decision to protect your peace. Ask yourself, how many times have you wasted energy fighting something that was already done? Think of your mind as a river. If a stone, an external problem, drops in the middle, you can't remove it with your bare hands, but you can choose how the current, your attitude, flows around it. Here's a simple, practical tip. Grab a notebook and divide a page into 2 columns. Write what I control on one side and what I don't control on the other. Fill it in with situations from your week. You'll be surprised at how much energy you're wasting on things outside your reach. This practice isn't just liberating, it's transformational. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, faced wars and betrayals, yet wrote in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Start today. Choose one situation that's been keeping you up at night and apply this mental shift. You'll see how anxiety begins to fade when you stop resisting the inevitable. Change doesn't come from the outside world. It comes from the clarity you build with. Final reflect. What are you carrying right now that you could simply let go? This principle is the foundation of it. But the next one is even more radical. It's going to teach you how to turn what feels like poison into fuel. Are you ready to flip the game for good? Principle 2. See the obstacle as an opportunity. How many times have you felt defeated because something went wrong? A plan failed, you got rejected at work, or a conversation spiraled out of control. It's easy to think these things are just cruel twists of fate, but the Stoics like Seneca saw it differently. What stands in the way becomes the way. Picture an athlete who sprains his ankle before a big competition. Instead of giving up, he uses the recovery time to strengthen his mindset and come back more focused. That's Stoicism in practice, flipping the script to your advantage. Think of a real situation. You lose your job and panic starts to take over. But what if instead of drowning in sadness, you saw it as a chance to learn something new or finally pursue what you really want? The Stoics believed every problem carries a lesson, and that lesson is what helps you grow. It's not about ignoring pain. It's about using it like a hammer that forges tougher steel. Have you ever stopped to ask what your latest setbacks were trying to teach you? Visualize your life as a dense forest. An obstacle is a fallen tree blocking your path. You can curse the tree or use it as firewood to warm your journey. Here's a practical tip. Next time something goes wrong, stop and write down 3 ways to benefit from it. Missed a deadline? Use it to improve your time management. Someone annoyed you? Train your patience. Small actions like these turn chaos into power. This principle takes courage, but it rewards you with freedom. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues and wars, yet he saw every crisis as a test of virtue. You don't need to be an emperor to apply this. Start with the next unexpected challenge today. Tell yourself, this isn't breaking me, it's shaping me. Little by little, you'll realize that nothing can truly shake you because you've learned to dance in the storm. The result? A mind that doesn't just survive, it thrives in the chaos. But the third principle goes even further. It reveals how to silence those sabotaging thoughts once and for all. Want to know how the Stoics stayed strong even on their worst days? Keep watching. Principle 3. Focus on the present, forget the rest. Have you ever spent an entire night imagining everything that could go wrong tomorrow? An important meeting, a bill you can't pay, a nagging what if that won't leave your mind? This habit of living in the future or dwelling on the past is like carrying a backpack full of rocks. It wears you out without getting you anywhere. Epictetus said, "What matters is the present. Everything else is illusion." The Stoics knew anxiety is born when we run from the present moment. The solution? Lock your mind into the now. Picture a student before a big test. He can get lost thinking about failure or past grades, or he can focus on reviewing the material in front of him. Only one of those choices helps him move forward. In your life, it's the same. The dinner you need to cook today matters. What your neighbor said last week doesn't. Ask yourself, how many times have you let the present slip away because of shadows that aren't even real? Think of your attention like a flashlight. If you point it at yesterday or tomorrow, the path in front of you stays dark, and you stumble. Here's a practical exercise. The next time anxiety hits, stop. Take 3 deep breaths and name 5 things you see around you. This anchors you to the present and breaks the cycle of racing thoughts. Try it today and feel the shift. This discipline is raw strength against sadness and fear. Marcus Aurelius, in the middle of battle, wrote to himself, "Do not disturb yourself with thoughts of the future. You will face it with the same reason you possess now." Start small. For the next hour, commit to doing just one task without worrying about what comes next. You'll discover that the present is a safe haven anxiety can't invade. The power of this is simple but deep. To live in the now is to truly live. And the next principle? It will show you how to turn even your darkest feelings into allies, something even the bravest hesitate to try. Ready for what's coming next? Principle 4. Practice indifference to what doesn't matter. Have you ever wasted time getting irritated over a slow line at the grocery store or a stupid comment on social media? These things are like mosquitoes buzzing around, annoying but harmless, unless you give them your attention. The Stoics, like Seneca, teach us the art of selective indifference. Let go of what doesn't touch your soul or your purpose. Your focus should be on what truly matters, your values, your actions, your peace. Wasting energy on the trivial is handing over the control of your mind to chaos. Think of someone who gets furious because a coworker received praise they felt they deserved. They complain, stew over it, but in the end, what changes? Nothing. Only their mood gets worse. Now imagine that person shrugging it off and saying, "This doesn't define who I am." That's Stoic indifference, a shield against distractions. Reflect on this. How many times have you let emotional crumbs throw you off balance? Picture your energy as a campfire. If you throw garbage into it, gossip, envy, minor frustrations, it smokes and dies out. A practical tip is to build a mental filter. Before reacting, ask yourself, will this matter in a week? If the answer is no, let it go. Try this today with something small, like a late bus, and notice how much space you gain for what really matters. This choice gives you your power back. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it's not under your control and doesn't harm your virtue, why care?" Try it. Next time something annoys you, take a deep breath and repeat that phrase. You'll feel the tension melt away, because what doesn't deserve your attention doesn't deserve your suffering. It's simple, but it takes discipline, and the results are freeing. The benefit here is a clear mind, ready for what truly counts. But the next principle will teach you something even bolder: how to use even criticism to your advantage. Want to know how to turn enemies into teachers? Don't miss what's next. Principle 5. Be grateful for what challenges you. Have you ever looked at a difficulty, a demanding boss, an unexpected bill, and thought, why me? It's natural to want to run, but the Stoics saw these things as disguised gifts. Epictetus said, anything that tests you strengthens you. Picture a blacksmith forging a sword. Without fire and hammering, it never takes shape. Your challenges are the fire that forges your resilience, and being grateful for them changes everything. Think of someone going through an exhausting day at work. They can complain, or they can say, "This is teaching me patience and endurance." That's the Stoic flip, trading victimhood for gratitude. A practical example: when someone criticizes you, instead of getting defensive, think, "Thank you for showing me where I can improve." Have you ever made a list of what your struggles have taught you? Consider life as a gym. Every weight you lift, every problem, builds stronger mental muscles. A useful habit. At the end of the day, write down one difficult thing that happened and one way it helped you grow. Maybe traffic made you listen to an inspiring podcast. Do this for a week and watch how your perspective shifts. This habit is revolutionary because it flips the logic of anxiety. Seneca faced exile and betrayal, but wrote that adversity was his greatest teacher. Start now. Pick a current obstacle and say thank you for it out loud. It might feel strange, but it's the first step to turning poison into medicine, and the relief is instant. The result is a strength no one can take from you. And the next principle, it'll reveal how to silence that inner voice that constantly judges you, something even the most confident people struggle to master. Ready for that secret? Stay tuned. Principle 6. Control your inner dialogue. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I'm not good enough after a silly mistake, like forgetting an important date? That critical voice in your head is like a cruel narrator that distorts reality. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, knew that the mind is an arena, and you decide who wins the fight. You are not hurt by events, but by what you tell yourself about them, he wrote. Mastering this inner dialogue is what separates chaos from calm. Imagine someone spilling coffee on their shirt before a meeting. The inner voice yells, "You're a mess." But what if they said, "It was just an accident, I'll fix it"? That's Stoic power, replacing judgment with reason. Think about it. How many times have you let that voice drag you into an unnecessary pit? See your mind as a radio. If the station plays self-criticism, change the channel to something neutral or positive. Here's a practical tip. When negative self-talk starts, pause and replace it with an objective phrase. "I failed at this" becomes, "I learned something from this." Try it today with a thought that's been bothering you and feel the weight lift. This technique takes practice, but it's a game changer. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, used it to face humiliation without breaking down. Start small. Next time you criticize yourself, ask, "Would I say this to a friend?" If not, reframe it. You'll discover that peace doesn't come from the outside, but from silencing the inner enemy. The result is a confidence that weathers any storm. But the next principle goes even further. It shows you how to turn even the fear of death into an unexpected ally. Want to know how the Stoics overcame the greatest of all terrors? Don't miss what's coming next. Principle 7. Cultivate discipline as freedom. Have you ever skipped something important like studying or working out because you weren't in the mood? That urge to follow your momentary feelings is like a dog pulling the leash. It feels like freedom, but it enslaves you. The Stoics, like Seneca, saw discipline as the true key to freeing yourself from volatile emotions. Freedom is not doing what you want, but wanting what you do, he said. Commit to what matters, and anxiety loses its grip. Think of someone who wants to write a book but keeps putting it off because it's not the perfect day. Months go by and nothing happens. Only regret grows. Now imagine that person writing 1 page a day, rain or shine. That's the Stoic power. Discipline turns intentions into results. Ask yourself, what are you postponing that could change your life? Visualize discipline as an anchor in a stormy sea. Without it, the waves, your emotions, toss you around. With it, you stay on course. Here's a practical tip. Choose one essential task today and do it, even for just 10 minutes. It could be tidying your desk or replying to an email. The act of starting sets off a domino effect of control. This principle is tough but rewarding. Marcus Aurelius woke up early to govern an empire. Not because he loved early mornings, but because he knew discipline shaped his character. Try this. Set a fixed time for something you've been avoiding, and stick to it for a week. You'll feel a kind of freedom comfort never gives, the freedom of owning yourself. The result is a mind that doesn't negotiate with excuses. But the next principle is even more powerful. It will teach you how to armor your emotions against life's blows. Want to know how the Stoics became unshakable? Don't miss what's coming next. Principle 8. Build an inner fortress. Have you ever felt shaken because someone ignored you or because everything went wrong in your day? These things are like arrows flying your way. They only hit you if you let your guard down. The Stoics, like Epictetus, believe true strength comes from a mental fortress that nothing can breach. No one can harm you without your consent, he said. This is the armor that protects your peace from any external attack. Imagine a salesperson who hears no all day long. He could feel like a failure or think, this is just the job, it's not who I am. That's the Stoic secret, separating who you are from what happens around you. A practical example? When someone provokes you, breathe and say to yourself, their opinion is their problem. Think about it, what's been shaking you that shouldn't. Picture your soul as a citadel. Storms, problems may rage outside, but inside calm can reign if you keep the gates shut. Here's a practical tip. Create a protective phrase like, this will pass, but I remain. Repeat it when something hits you, like a delay or a harsh comment. Try it today and see how the world loses its grip on you. This practice is an invisible but unbeatable shield. Marcus Aurelius faced conspiracies and illness, yet he wrote that his peace depended only on himself. Start now. In your next tense moment, focus on preserving your inner calm, not reacting. You'll discover that nothing, not people, not circumstances, can steal what you guard. The result is a tranquility that defies chaos. And the next principle? It will show you how to use simplicity to cut away the excess that's suffocating. You'll do something even the strongest often overlook. Ready for this revelation? Stick around. Principle 9. Live with less, gain more. Have you ever felt that the more things you accumulate, clothes, obligations, worries, the heavier your day becomes? This excess is like carrying an overloaded backpack on a trail. It wears you down without taking you any farther. The Stoics, like Seneca, preached simplicity as a path to clarity. It's not little that's enough. It's much that we don't need, he wrote. Reducing the unnecessary gives you space for what truly matters. Think of someone who spends hours deciding what to wear or saying yes to favors they don't want to do. Time slips away and anxiety grows. Now imagine that same person with a basic wardrobe and the courage to say no. That's practical stoicism. Fewer things, less chaos. Reflect, what in your life is just taking up space without adding value? Picture your routine as a river. If it carries trash, distractions, the water gets murky. Clear it, and everything flows better. A practical tip. Today, remove one thing. Donate a piece of clothing, cancel a useless plan, or stop checking your phone every 5 minutes. Do it and feel the relief of a lighter mind. This approach takes boldness, but nothing else frees you like it. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome with few possessions because he knew true wealth lies in the soul, not in things. Try it. For one day, live only with the essentials and see how simplicity gives you back control. You'll realize that less is, indeed, so much more. The reward is a life focused on what truly matters. But the next principle is the most unsettling of all. It reveals a secret about your mind that could change everything. Want to uncover what the Stoics knew and few dare to face? Don't go anywhere. Principle 10. Face death as a liberator. Have you ever felt a chill down your spine just thinking that one day everything will end? Your work, your achievements, even you? This fear of death is like a shadow that grows the more you run from it. But the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, faced it head-on. Think of death every day, and you will never fear anything again, he wrote. This isn't morbidity, it's liberation. Accepting the end takes the power away from all other fears. When you know time is finite, the trivial things stop, holding you back. Think of someone who lives constantly worried about what others think or embarrassed by small mistakes, like dropping something in public. Now imagine that same person reflecting, one day, none of this will matter. I'll be gone and the world will move on. That's the Stoic strike against anxiety. Death puts everything in perspective. Ask yourself, what are you afraid of today that would seem irrelevant on your last day? Picture death as a harsh but fair teacher. It reminds you that each hour is a gift, not a guarantee, and it forces you to cut the excess from life. Here's a powerful practical tip. Every morning for 1 minute, imagine that today is your last day. How would you act? Who would you talk to? Do this for a week, and watch how your priorities shift dramatically. This exercise is uncomfortable, but transformative. Seneca said that to live well is to learn how to die well, and he faced his execution calmly because of that belief. Try it now. Think about death for 30 seconds, then look at a current problem. Does it still seem big? You'll feel a strange sense of relief, because what is inevitable teaches you to release what you can't control. The result is a kind of courage few ever reach. Living without fear of the end is truly living. Close your eyes for a second and imagine your life 5 years from now if nothing changes. You still wake up with that knot in your stomach, held hostage by the same fears, stuck in a loop of thoughts that spin like a broken record. Anxiety slowly swallows you. Your days become a fog of regrets, and that emptiness you try to ignore only grows. All because you didn't face what needed to be faced today. Death comes for all of us, but wasting your life on what destroys you is a choice, and it can be avoided right now. You've heard all 10 principles, so here's the practical advice. Choose one thing to change today, something simple but powerful. It could be saying no to a draining commitment, writing down what you can control on a piece of paper, or pausing for 2 minutes to feel gratitude for a challenge. It doesn't have to be big. The power is in consistent action. Start now, because each step brings you closer to the peace the Stoics promised, and that you truly deserve. And what about you? Have you thought about what's holding you back? Which of these principles resonated most with your life? Accepting the uncontrollable, being grateful for challenges, or facing death head-on? Leave a comment. What will you apply first? Your story might be the push someone else needs to take the next step. If these principles helped you see things in a new light, or gave you strength to act, hit the like button. That way, more people can discover this path to peace. Not part of the channel yet? Click subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next videos packed with practical strategies like these. See you next time. Your journey is just beginning.